Russian infidelity busts are absolutely explosive. The two cases today will literally make your jaw drop. One is a wife who loves to drink. She waited until her husband was away on business to invite a group of men and women over. After getting wasted, she shared a man with her best friend. When they got caught, even the head of the investigation team got hit. The other one is even more insane. The husband just got released from prison, only to find out his wife was hooking up with someone he knew. I'll keep you in suspense on the details for a moment. Now, let's first introduce Ivan, who lives in the countryside. He's 26 and works as a sound engineer. He works hard day and night, just to give his wife a better life. But lately, his wife has been picking fights over nothing, cursing him out for no reason at all. Thinking his wife might just be bored, he took her to town, but the result was exactly the same. She was either drinking or fighting with him. There's definitely something wrong with this situation. The investigation team took the case on the spot. The next day, Ivan had to take his wife to town, giving the team time to install the cameras. But he waited outside for at least 15 minutes before his wife finally, like most women, walked out slowly from in front of the makeup mirror. The wife, Dasha, is 23. She thinks she's a beauty and looks down on her husband. After the two left, the surveillance team moved in, while the mobile unit followed the car. Then, Ivan dropped his wife off near the subway station. As the camera installation was finished, the tracking team followed Dasha into the subway at the same time.
Все камеры вижу, спасибо.
At this point, Dasha went back to her mother's house. After the team had Ivan called to check in, Dasha claimed she was at her mother's house helping plant seedlings. Now, the team has no choice but to wait. 2 hours later, Dasha showed up with a man and a woman. They looked like friends. Then another man and woman appeared. It's obvious they are all very familiar with each other. But then things took a turn.
Привет, мам. А я сейчас на дачу собираюсь.
Holy sh*t. Turns out she was lying. Her mother was just getting back now, proving she wasn't at her mother's house at all. And after that, she and her friends started drinking beer on a bench. I thought she just lived in the countryside usually, and came back to chat with some old friends. I didn't expect Dasha to sit directly on a man's lap later. It's safe to say Ivan's suspicions were right. The wife stays home eating and drinking well all day yet fights with him. Something was bound to be fishy. But surprisingly, Dasha went straight home afterwards. By nightfall, the investigation team found Ivan and told him what happened today. As it turns out, except for one of the women, Ivan didn't know any of the other people at all. But the team asked him not to confront Dasha yet, saying they would notify him once the results were in. Early the next morning, Ivan left for his business trip. Dasha woke up and called her husband, clearly trying to make sure he was far away. After taking an unknown call, Dasha jumped out of bed with joy. Not long after, the 4 people from yesterday showed up, all carrying big bags and small bags. It looks like they're taking advantage of Ivan's absence to use the house as a free party spot. They brought food and a ton of alcohol. The men started a fire on the grill to cook meat, while the women gossiped. It sounds like the best friend is very envious of her life, but Dasha herself doesn't value her husband at all. The group ate meat and drank, having a wild time. As the alcohol kicked in, their primal instincts started to take over. Dasha pretended she needed to use the bathroom, but that was just an excuse. And it looks like this isn't their first time. A woman like this could marry any man, but would never love any man. From this, you can see how terrifying a woman addicted to alcohol can be. At this point, the other couple also left, leaving only Dasha's best friend. After the wild session with the man, Dasha fell straight asleep. The man, who wanted to go for another round, came out disappointed. But as soon as he came out, he hooked up with Dasha's best friend. My god, this guy is a freaking hero. The friend didn't mind at all either. It proves that alcohol can make a woman forget her self-respect. As evening approached, everyone had had their fun. Now they were ready to leave. Dasha was wasted, and her friends were all ready to go home. Only her best friend stayed behind. At night, Ivan returned from his trip. When he found out what was going on, he almost jumped out of his skin with rage. Holy sh*t, this is so wild and chaotic. The 2 women actually fought back. They were unloading on everyone. After heading downstairs and getting dressed, they didn't even spare the investigation team leader. So, even after being exposed, they didn't take care at all. This is too explosive, my god. Some best friend she is. If the security guard hadn't held them back, one of them would have probably been sent to the hospital today. After a massive catfight, the friend left in tears. In the end, Ivan filed for divorce. Dasha was kicked out of the house and went back to her mother, but she's been suing in court to force Ivan to split the property. Next is our second victim. His situation is a bit complicated. His name is Nicholas, 33 years old. He's an entrepreneur, but he was just recently released from prison. The specific reason isn't convenient to say, but a comment from a neighbor made his blood run cold. For the specific details, let's follow the investigation team. The next day, the team got to work. First, they tailed the wife, Mariana. She's 28 and a housewife. The surveillance team installed the cameras. The tracking team followed Mariana to a psychology clinic. It looks like she wanted a psychologist to help her with a certain problem.
Это же твои проблемы. Я же не могу все за тебя решить. Ты ему все. Расскажи как по-честному. Он должен тебя понять и простить.
Ты меня сможешь по телефону проконсультировать?
Мария, я не консультирую по телефону.
Clearly, the psychologist didn't agree to it. But now it's certain that Mariana definitely has a problem. After going home, she bought a bottle of whiskey and kept drinking in the kitchen. When Nicholas went home the next day, she was still hungover, but she didn't say anything to Nicholas. Instead, she went to the bathroom and turned on the faucet. After Nicholas left the house, she made a call. It's unclear who this call was for. I thought it was the psychologist, but when the tracking team followed her to a spot, they found another strange man, and it looks like their relationship is far from ordinary.
И надо все это все-таки закончить. У меня муж, и мы решили с ним наладить отношения.
Now it's safe to say, this man is her lover. They were together the whole time while her husband was in prison. The men also decided to break up peacefully. It seems that's why she went to the psychologist. She was confused. But is it really that simple?
Нам надо встретиться. Сможешь ко мне приехать? Все, буду ждать тебя.
She invited a friend named Valyusha to meet. It sounds like a girl's name. It seems she wants someone to share all this with. After getting home, she opened a bottle of champagne. Not long after, turns out this Valyusha is a man, and a very young one at that. Holy sh*t. Turns out there's more than one. When Nicholas was notified to come home and learned it was a man named Valyusha, he almost couldn't breathe because he knew this man. Back then, he was framed and sent to prison, and this man was the one behind it. He didn't even want to go in now, because if he did, he might end up in prison a second time. So they just waited downstairs for the men to finish. After Valyusha came out, Nicholas told the investigation team to let him go. It seems Nicholas is clear-headed this time. It's not worth going back inside for a woman like this. After Valyusha left, now Nicholas is going home.
Что ты молчишь?
Что мы можем делать?
Then the investigation team told her everything. Once Mariana found out, she kept begging her husband for forgiveness, because she had already cut things off with the previous lover, and this one was the last time. She was getting ready to live a good life with Nicholas. If you guys watching were in this situation, could you accept it? In the end, Nicholas packed his things and left. Even the investigation team couldn't take it and gave Mariana a piece of their mind.
Человек садил в тюрьму вашего мужа, и вы с ним спите. Ребят, пойдем.
Nicholas threw the keys back. This time was just too heartbreaking and full of despair. Because of an article Nicholas once wrote, he was reported by this guy named Valyusha, and spent 3 years in prison. He never expected that after getting out, his wife would be hooking up with him, and not just him. In the end, Nicholas filed for divorce directly. Alright, that's the end of this episode. See you next time.